If you're asking if your relationship is over, some part of you already knows. And I'm going to give you 5 signs to confirm your knowing. Number 1, depletion. You're exhausted when you're around your partner. It might be the talks, the overabundant amount of conflict that you two have. Maybe it's the intimate time you have together and you feel depleted afterwards. Maybe just the general day-to-day of all that you carry. You are exhausted in your relationship. Another way that your body is showing you is maybe you no longer even feel attracted to that person physically. Your body feels reserved, or even worse, yuck, feels that ick when you're around that person. Your body is cluing you into that in some level, this relationship or your person is no longer safe. Your body has been cluing you in the entire time. Number 2, your emotional connection is not reciprocated. You're the one always coming to try and build this emotional connection between the two of you. You're the one stating your needs and what you want. You're the one trying to find a way to connect. You talk about the things that matter to you, but you're met with silence. Or maybe you reach over to try and touch your partner and they don't give any love or kind gestures back. And they especially don't emotionally feed into or ask about your day or how you're feeling. You're the one softening a lot so that things can be a little bit easier. You're the one putting all the emotional labor and load into the relationship. And you find that nothing is being reciprocated, if any, or maybe very little. And if you're on the other end of this, if you can recognize and see that the person or partner on the other end continuously comes to you and is putting out their emotional output and they're asking to be received, they want to talk about the problems in your relationship, they want to talk about things that are on their mind or on their heart, and you struggle to want to hear them, that is a sign that this relationship isn't working. And one or both of you need to be aware of it. 3, the lack of empathy. If you're going through something, whether it's between the two of you, or if you're experiencing a loss or a hardship in your life, maybe one of your parents just died, maybe you just lost your job, maybe you had a conflict with your friend or a family member, whatever it is, and when you bring that to your partner, and you notice that they can't empathize with you, and some ways to know if someone empathizes with you is first facial expression, right? 2, it's how they verbally respond to you. 3, it's their physical presence. Did they want to come into your space and help ease your pain? Did they speak words of affirmation in order to help ease your pain? If there is no empathy from your partner, that means there's no heart. And as long as there's no heart, this relationship has not been built on a solid foundation, which would be in love. It's been built on something else, and that is something you need to check in with yourself on. 4 is accountability. One or either of you cannot own the wrongs that you two have transgressed against each other. You or your partner can't take responsibility for something that they've done. So as long as nothing gets accounted for, repair can never happen. And so all these pains and hurts just start getting stacked. They're the land of 1,000 cuts to the heart. And as long as hurt continues to stack, there's only so much your heart can take. Your heart will overflow with pain and at some point be not able to hold that pain any longer. So the lack of accountability will degrade this relationship. And 5, the unwillingness to change. If your partner finally owns some of the things that you've brought to them, maybe they wake up psychologically and they start to see that the pattern is an issue with them, but you never see any lasting change. They promise to change. You hear all the right words. Okay, I see it, right? I see it. I'll work on it. And then another trigger comes forward between the two of you, and you are met with the exact same emotional or physical or psychological response. And you show them and mirror to them, hey, you're doing it again. You said you would change. And then now we're in the loop over and over and over again until you are tired. And your partner never puts any lasting effort into showing up different for themselves, for you, or for the relationship. If all these 5 criteria, and these are just criteria that I've put together, that I've experienced in my own life to see if I need to make an adjustment in my life and my relationships, if these criteria are met, I'm sure you're in a place where you're so exhausted, you feel like you've done everything you can do. There's nothing really left to try. Then I'm going to invite you to consider not telling you what to do, that you make a change in your life, and you, instead of putting it on someone else, instead of continuing to let this drag on, look into the mirror and say, if I want something different, it's time for me to do it. I have to make the change if I want something different, because humans never change for other humans. It's so often we change when we're forced to. And yes, sometimes we do, but for the most part, we can't control it. The only things we can control are ourselves. We hear that time and time again, and it is so true, especially when it comes to relationships. And if they really wanted to, they would have. And yes, it can mean that they may change in the future, but that's not your job. That is their job. Yours is to love yourself enough, to know your worth, and to say, I'm enough. And I've done everything I can do to pour into this relationship, to try and meet it in love. And if it's not reciprocated, I have to lovingly let go. And so I hope this helps you listen to it with your heart. And I hope this helps you find clarity in the choices you're going to decide to do next. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, comment. I so appreciate the support. As a spiritual mentor, guide, and someone who has walked the path that you have walked, I'm bringing forward a way to see how to come back into yourself and into alignment, find your self-worth again, and no longer abandon yourself in the name of love. And if you like that type of content, please join me. I'd love to have you.